Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, good whatever it might need to be for you, depending on what time of day it is, or night for that matter. This is the voice of Ryan, and these are the hands of Ryan. And this right yasso is an Aspire PockeX. The Aspire PockeX has been one of, if not the best seller at the E-Cig Shop since I started working here about 4 years ago. And they just don't stop selling. We do get a few people with some questions regarding them and with coming back with common faults. So I thought I'd just give a quick rundown on the Aspire PockeX. So this is the box that it comes in. All the usual stuff, picture of the device, color selection is on the side there on these newer packaged ones. Let's go over what you get with the device, and then we'll take a closer look and I can give you some insider tips on the things. So you get your instruction manual, which is it's not torn. It's not usually torn, nah. But it's plentiful, but it comes in many languages. But fear not, I shall teach you all you may need to know regarding the PockeX. So with the device, this is the stainless steel one, as you can see. There's a quick look. I've got a pink one here. Sorry, no, this is rose gold, this one. But I just got a box fresh one off the shelf, so I could just show you exactly what comes with the contents when it's new. So you get your USB cable, your standard OG USB cable. It's none of that USB-C stuff. I believe that's referred to as USB 2. Oh, you get a spare coil. I'll show you the device last. You get a spare coil. This one is a 1.2 ohm. You can see it's printed on the side of the coil what resistance the coil is. I can show you in the closely up a bit better. And let's see if I can actually get him out now. Third time's a charm. Nope. There we go. The hardest part of vaping, people, is getting into the new devices. And then this is what the stainless steel looks like. It's just an unpainted one, really. I'm not going to get too hands-on with this one because I might be able to still sell that on. And I've already got one that I use, so why not just pull that one apart? But that is the box contents. These have recently been repackaged. It used to just be in a black box and they're white and orange and pretty now. And this is the one that we're now going to take a bit of a closer look at. It says Aspire PockeX just there on it. Got some markings on the bottom, all the casual usual stuff. Let me pull up a close-up and show you the close-up, right? Okay, so we are now back, and this is the Aspire PockeX, as it says right there. A bit closer up. This one has been used, obviously, so yours, if you purchase one, will be in better condition if you can make out any of the wear and tear on it. But this is where you charge the device. USB 2 port where the cable that comes with the device will be inserted. Just underneath that, you can see is a little hole. That little hole is actually an LED that will light up. It's red or orange while it's charging, green when it's fully charged. Talk about charging this in just a moment. We'll have another look at the device. So here's your fire button. You would push that 5 times to turn it on. It's turned off at the moment. There's a fresh coil in there, so I don't want to turn it on and risk frying that because I do intend on using it. The drip tip is removable. You can, if you look hard enough, we don't have any ourselves at the moment. We do have from time to time, but none at the moment. Get different types of these fancy ones. We just get a standard black one with it. And this is how you would get into the device to change the coil or fill it up. You'll just spin the top here. Sometimes the coil will come away once you've unscrewed it. Sometimes the coil will still be in the battery or attached to the battery department. It doesn't matter either way, honestly. So if you was looking to fill up your device, all you would do is fill your juice up in here and make sure you only fill it up to that fill line there, because once you put the coil back in, it's going to displace some of the e-liquid and it's going to make it rise. So if you filled it all the way up to the top and then put your coil back on, you're going to get juice spilling out everywhere. But I'll quickly show you actually what may happen when you unscrew the top. So the glass section is just press fitted on. You can just pull that off. It may seem stiff when it's new, but honestly, you can just pop that right off. It's not going to do it any damage. Sometimes when so you can screw that in there. Now, sometimes when you unscrew the top, you'd unscrew it and the coil would still be in there. That's not a problem at all. You can still fill him up just fine around the edge of the coil, if you can see around the edge of that, around the outside of the coil rather. If you wanted to change the coil and the coil was stuck in there, you could, if you're strong at the fingertip, just pinch it there and unscrew him and then take the coil out, because that way you won't have to drain off your e-liquid in order to change the coil. Because the other way to do it is, if the coil is stuck in there and you wanted to change it, is just pop that off, and then obviously the coil would be in there and it's much easier to grip and unscrew from there. But 9 times out of 10, when you unscrew it, it's going to come out, the coil is going to be stuck to this top piece here. When you take a pull on your E-Cig, the air is taken in via that little slot. I don't quite know if you can see it, and I don't have nails to point it out, but there's just like a little line. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, you can actually. There, that's where the air is pulled in. So sometimes we do get customers coming in asking just for the top plate, because it looks like it's a plate on the top. That isn't removable, and they don't sell those bits individually. So if you have damaged your device and this top bit has become loose, or you've lost it altogether, the only way about it is to hope that we have one of these whole top sections from a spares or a return device that we could sell you or give you, or you just have to buy a whole new device, unfortunately. That is just the case of it, until Aspire design one of these that has the removable plate on the top that you could change. So yeah, fill it up. As I say, you'd fill him up, pop him back in, screw him on like that, and 5 clicks on, and away you go. I will do that in a minute just for you to see, but before then I do want to explain a few things about the device. It has a 1500 milliamp hour internal battery. If you don't know what that means, it basically means the battery that's inside of this is larger than most other devices in its class. Most devices, most all-in-ones or pod devices or whatever you really want to call them, come with around 1000 milliamp hours. Like 1000 milliamp hours in a device of this caliber is considered quite a lot. This has 1500. Most people that use them, I don't use mine extensively, but most customers that do use them extensively claim to get best part of a day, if not over a day, out of one full charge. The charge rate on this is up to 0.8 amps. I'll explain what that means in just a moment. The coils that you saw me take out just a moment ago, so these coils, these are the device rather is compatible with the coils for the PockeX and also for the Aspire Nautilus X. The Aspire Nautilus X is a tank that you can put on any device that has a 510 connection. If you don't know what that means just yet, you probably don't need to, so don't worry. But the coils that go in that tank also fit in the PockeX, but I am yet to meet many, if any, customers that prefer the Nautilus X coils to the coils that come with the PockeX. The PockeX as standard comes with a 0.6 ohm coil and a 1.2 ohm coil, and 90% of customers don't like the 1.2 ohm coil. I don't either. I prefer the 0.6. I think it just pulls and performs far nicer. Now, charge rates. So as I said, this device can charge up to 0.8 amps. This plug here can charge or outputs up to, I don't know if you can quite see that, up to 0.5 amps output, meaning the most it's going to kick out when you're using it to charge a device is 0.5 amps. A lot of people are upgrading their phones recently to phones such as iPhones or the new Samsung Galaxies, and they're using the plugs that they get with those devices to charge their E-Cigs, including the PockeXs. Now, the problem with those plug adapters, so the bits like this that you get with smartphones and other devices, can usually charge up to 2 amps, some of them even 2.5 amps. Now, if you're charging a battery that has been designed to only take 0.8 amps and you're putting 2 or 2.5 amps through it, it's going to stress the battery. The battery wasn't made to take in that power at that rate. And continuously doing that is going to cause the device to use its safety features. Because the battery is being stressed, and stressed batteries are never a good thing, you may find that your device just stops working. And the device does that to make sure nothing horrible happens to you, so it's a good thing. But if you want to prevent that, then please purchase one of these from us. I think they're £3.50. You get your little USB port at the bottom. So the cable that you get with the PockeX, you would plug into one end into there, the other end into there, and happy days. You may notice if you have been using your phone charger and you swap to one of these because you want your device to last longer than a couple of months, that it takes longer to charge with one of these than your iPhone charger or smartphone charger. Well, unfortunately, that's the case. If it's charging at a lower rate, the battery is going to reach its capacity at a longer time, but that's what the battery was designed to do. So what I'll do now is fill him up and show you how he works. So as I said earlier, I'm trying to dodge knocking the camera and the microphone and the lights and everything I've got on here. So yeah, make sure the coil is screwed nice and tightly into the top piece there. Make sure that your glass section, it may feel flimsy and whatnot, but that's a very, very spongy seal there. So as long as it's in place, it's not going anywhere unless you give it some welly. Yeah, but make sure that's in place there, and then you'll just fill him up with some juice. I've got some cherry menthol that I've mixed up myself. Sorry for knocking the camera again. So I'm just going to fill him up, see if I can guesstimate from this angle where that fill line is. Bear with me. I will stop knocking the camera as well, trust me. Right, that looks like enough to me. That looks like enough to me because of the weird angle I've got going off here. And that looks like too much. No, it doesn't. Sorry, it knocked it again. And then you would stand him up to make sure nothing falls out. So apologies for how close I am now. But voila. Right, and then you would leave him for 5 minutes and then turn him on and give him a vape. So I'm going to put this down for a couple of minutes now to make sure the coil, because it's a new coil, it needs to soak up the juice. Otherwise, when you fire it, it's going to be heating up dry cotton, and that's never a good thing to take a hit on, trust me. Won't do you much harm, but it's not going to be very pleasant. So I'm going to leave that for a couple of minutes and come back and give you a quick demo of what he toots like. Hello. And yes, it's me. You might recognize me from the shop. I know him, I saw him in the shop. Yeah, you probably did. I work there. Cool. Right, so back with the PockeX. Been a long time since I've used one of these, to be honest with you, but they are solid little devices. One of the reasons why it's a device I picked first to do a little video on for the E-Cig Shop. Gonna show you how it works now, very simply. So there's the fire button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It starts flashing up and doing all sorts of crazy things with the lights. That means it's on, and if you want to know when he's on or off, you can press the button and it lights up. Lights up blue. You hear that? That's normal. When you fire it, it's meant to make that. That's basically the device. The heating element inside the coil is heating up and it's boiling up all of that juice, turning it into vapor, which you're then going to inhale and then exhale, just like this. So that's your average kind of hit for it. It does produce quite a nice amount of cloud. It is quite a satisfying type of hit. It's very comfortable to use in the hand. I like using them because it's one that you could just play with in the hand. It's quite robust. It's not just going to break. You can buy the glass section. So if you do manage to break this glass section here that pops off, because though it's got a metal shielding around it, from time to time, you are going to snap the glass sections. If that does happen, we do sell the glass bits alone for just £5. So you don't have to buy the whole device. But if you damage this top bit, then unless we have any from spares or returns that we could sort you out with, it is normally going to mean buying a new device. Take another hit because I'm enjoying it. Vaping on some cherry menthol from Mixology. I've mixed it myself. It's a 50-50 mix ratio. That is what I find perfect in this device. It can take juice, maybe a 60-40 at a push. You could put a 70-30 in there, but if you do, you're going to be taking a few hits or one big hit, and then going to have to leave it to soak back up some more juice before you take another hit. Otherwise, the cotton's going to be too dry. That's what I find anyway. But if you use this 50-50 e-liquid, which we have many options available for you at the E-Cig Shop in various nicotine strengths, then you'll be right at home. And if you want to turn it off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it does this crazy flashing stuff with a button again, but now it's off. It's not crackling, it's not popping, it's not doing anything. But I'm going to turn it back on because I want another hit. Always use one of these plugs, please. Otherwise, this device is going to be kaput within a few months if you use one of the ones for your smartphone or a tablet or something like that. Just as a quick demonstration, I don't know if you can see. You can. I'm just checking the shot now. But just here, I have a power outlet. So this is a USB cable. Put one end into the power outlet. For you guys at home, if you don't have one of these smart outlets, then you would put this end into there. I don't mean to, teach a granny how to suck eggs or whatever the phrase is, but just in case you're not aware, put one end in there, and then the other end would go into the device there. And I'm going to put them into the power supply so you can see, if you can. Right, I don't know if you can see it too good, but because it's quite far away. But there is a red light. It's flickering between red and green because it is pretty much fully charged. Again, please don't use your phone chargers or your tablet chargers or anything like that. Make sure that the device isn't receiving any more than 0.8 amps, because if it's receiving more than that, it is going to work for a few weeks and you won't notice any problems until the battery just doesn't last too long at all, or it just doesn't work at all. That is all I really have to say about the Aspire PockeX. They're £25. We pretty much always have them in stock. This is the rose gold. You saw the stainless steel earlier. There is blue, there is black available. There's rainbow available as well. Various colors, all £25. Banging little starter and a banging little out and about device. If you're, used to using big old devices like this, but you're going out somewhere and don't want to carry it with you, one of these is spot on. It's not going to give you the big chest hit that a nice RTA is going to give you, but it's going to definitely satisfy your needs. One thing I would recommend though is if you are used to bigger devices and are going to use one of these, you might want to up the nicotine. So if you're normally on a 3mg, jump up to a 6mg with this, because it doesn't produce as much vapor as a bigger device, and the nicotine is on the vapor. The more vapor produced, the more nicotine you're going to consume. So because less vapor is produced by this device than this one, I would put more nicotine in this. So I've got a 6, it's about 9mg in this, and on this is a 1.5. That's works out roughly around the same for my personal tastes, but everybody's different. Everybody has different tolerances. As long as it works for you, you could put whatever juice you want in here. If it keeps you off the stinky sticks, the cigarettes, sorry, if it keeps you off them, it's a win. I don't think I have anything else to say on that one. No. Aspire PockeX, £25 at the E-Cig Shop. You can get them online. Can't pop into the shop right now, actually, because lockdown, shops are closed, so click and collect, please. If you have any other devices you want me to take a look at, I'll take a closer look at for you before you buy, or any questions or anything like that, make sure you pop over to our Facebook page. You can just search on Facebook, the E-Cig Shop 21+. That's our community group where all the good stuff happens. And there's also our business page where we do our lives and put up notices of offers and things like that. And that is just the E-Cig Shop. Thank you very much for spending the time with me. Peace.